Hey, look, it's Pepper. Hi, sweetie. She's gonna supervise while I make slow cooker lasagna. Right in the hiker biker camp, a beautiful lobster mushroom. I had seen a couple of busted pieces, so I knew there were lobsters and russulas. These are the russulas that lobsters take over and convert. So when you see russulas, it's a good shot that there are lobsters, and I found them right over here. There's another one right here that wasn't in very good shape, so I wasn't going to keep it. But so the first thing you do with lobster mushrooms is you take a little brush and you rinse and you try to get as much of the little dirty bits and pine needles. And it's okay if you take off a little bit of the orange color like that. Sometimes little pieces will break off. This one looks pretty good, nice and firm. And then what I do with them is when I put them above a dehydrator, take this other one. What you're looking for is fairly firm. If they're soft and wet and crumbly, this one's still good. These are just pieces that broke off in my pack. This is the softer part, but these are still good. That's not mushy. So now, hi Pepper, how are you? So I get these guys drying, dehydrated, and we'll get them nice and dry for later. Oh, careful, big girl. Don't hurt yourself. Once you've cleaned them and dried them, you're just trying to slice them into decent thickness. Not a 1/4 inch, more than an 1/8. And then you're looking to make sure they're nice and firm and that they smell good inside. Got sort of an earthy smell. These are nice and moist, but not slimy or squishy. And it stays real firm and meaty. It doesn't have any sort of a seafood taste, in my opinion, but some people think so. I just like it because the lobster mushroom stays firm, and it also freezes. We freeze the slow cooker. So you get the idea. I'm going to cut it all up and then saute it. This, by the way, is the shallow slow cooker that I use. And you'll see why that's important real quick. You'll see I also cut up half of a big giant Walla Walla sweet. I didn't need to show you that. I'm going to throw some EVOO in to the skillet. And I'm going to give these lobster mushrooms a nice saute. Give them a little texture. Once they're done, I will toast up these onions a bit. I've also got one of these Italian style chicken breast things from Safeway, so there'll be a little chicken in there. And I am using a grilled pepper marinara pepper. And I've also got some backup marinara because it may take more than that. So I got, another half bottle already open. And I really like this Trader Joe's Aglio Olio. It brings garlic, salt, parsley, bell peppers, chili peppers. It's a good all-purpose blend. But first off, I'm going to sizzle down these lobsters in some olive oil. Another little shot of these lobsters. Picking up a little good olive oil. Well, grocery store EVOO. It's not like it's fancy stuff or anything, but here's those lobsters after another flip. And that's about what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to do much more to them other than get them a bit cooked and some oil into them. So I can throw them into a bowl, and then in go the onions. Onions are going good here, and you can see they're picking up a little color from the lobsters. What I do now is hit them with some mushroom powder that I make. This is chanterelle. I dry. Here's what my dried chanterelles look like. And then throw those guys into a coffee grinder, and I end up with chanterelle, kind of a coarse chanterelle powder that is really good for sauteing onions and giving them a little flavor. While this is going on, I've started laying out the lasagna. Step one is layer of noodles on the bottom. Step two, put some marinara on top of the noodles. This is that marinated chicken breast from the Safeway brand, Chef's Cut, something like that. Get that seasoning up. Hey, Pepper, are you helping? So next step over here, now that I've got some sauce down, is throwing some lobsters. And then throwing some of these sweet onion pieces. And wait for, oh, look at my helper. Hey, big girl. Come here, sweetie. Yeah. Gonna miss you. There's my chicken. I like to get a little color on it before it goes in the slow cooker. And that looks just right. Also wanted to point out, you'll notice I put 3 lasagnas. 3 noodles. I'm going to get another layer of 3, and then I'm going to have some pieces to make a 3rd layer. I'll do them all like this, and then we'll cut it right here in between and get freezer, tonight's dinner. But next up, you'll see I put some of the Trader Joe's stuff. I got to finish the toppings for this layer. Looking to use a good 1/3 of the chicken. That's about right, and I think I got room for another piece or 2 there. Finger wiper. Then, this is not fat-free mozzarella. This is half fat-free mozzarella and half regular Italian. So I'm cutting the fat content in half, and it turns out that you don't even know that. So I'm using about 1/3 of that, and then boom. 1, 2, 3 more. And you see the pattern. And you also see that Pepper just paces. Here she comes. Hi, big girl. I'm sorry, year-old. Yep, I'm sorry. I can't change that. Second layer's built. Got some big pieces of lobster chicken. I've saved a bit of lobster mushroom, bit of chicken, bit of onion. Give this guy a shake of garlic and seasoning. Save about 1/3 for the top. Now I'm going to build this sort of use up the pieces layer. What's left in this box? There we go. On goes the grilled pepper marinara. It is not necessary to push it all out to the edge. It'll flatten and smush as it cooks. Chicken bites. That's it for the chicken. Walla Walla Sweets, my very favorite, because my family's from Walla Walla and I spent a lot of time there growing up when I was a kid. Get this last few bits of that. Finger wiper. Another shake of the Trader Joe's Aglio Olio. And then half Italian, half fat-free mozzarella. And then give it kind of one little push with the spatula like that. I think this is a 4-quart low profile slow cooker, if I'm not mistaken. It's also really good for venison shoulder, especially from smaller deer that I salvage. So we just kick it over onto high, and I've never had one not turn out great. It is 12:45. It'll be done by 4:30. just to confirm that I'm a big softie. I've made sure there's no onion bits. This is got just a little olive oil and chicken stuff, and sorry about that. All cooled off. Guess who's gonna have that? Hey, how about if I put it up here? Go ahead. Good girl. Quick peek after about an hour and a half. You can see that it has smushed down a bit, spread out. Got lots of moisture down there. Two more hours. It is 3:30 and I am calling it. When I take a look, I can see in the corner it's starting to get a little dark and toasty. Now I fogged up the there we go. So at this point I kick it down to low and just let it, actually I'm going to kick it over to warm. And just let it sit for probably another hour, and we will be serving it up. Lasagna to off. My goal in cutting it is to hopefully hit that gap between the pasta, then come around like that. And there we go. Turn it over that way. And that is lobster mushroom lasagna in the slow cooker. Little Parmesan cheese, some green beans and sweet onions, and a really nice Pinot Noir from Yamhill Carlton. It's easy. It comes out perfect every time. Takes about 8 ounces of cheese, 24-ounce bottle of marinara, some toppings, and the lobster mushrooms end up being a nice firm well, here's one right here on the top. It doesn't soften up much. It really is like a meaty mushroom bite, even coming out of the freezer. So that's how I use my lobster mushrooms almost all the time. Pepper, what a big help. So nice of the Washburne State Park hiker-biker camp to have provided me with a couple of big lobster mushrooms so that I could make one of our favorite treats.